let's go. Do you guys? We don't have to talk about this game. We could. You guys want to talk about Michigan winning the national championship
No,
again?
I picked this game, so we should talk about it.
We got to talk
Yeah,
about it.
Ethan.
I mean,
Ethan,
I
you
went
had
5-1 this
a
week.
hell of a week. You were
went
5-1 this week.
And
I was
honestly,
3-3.
one
Grant,
penalty
you're
away
you're
from being
you're the
6-1.
caboose. You're the caboose, and you were 2-4.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
goddamn play from being 6-0. One penalty.
Which one was that again?
Yeah.
The Lions one, where they had
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
holding, passing, whatever you want to call it on that
But
fourth down.
I suppose let's get the misery over with. Everything that I said that the Cowboys needed to do to come out and take care of business in this game, they didn't do.
They didn't do it.
It was pretty much over. I don't know what type of deal with the devil the Green Bay Packers made or Curly Lambeau made, but I mean, it feels right now the Packers have another 16 years of quarterback nirvana. LaFleur is in play calling nirvana where whatever he calls, it works, which also just shows the testament and the confidence that he has in his quarterback and shows how much Jordan Love has improved in the last 6 weeks of the season to where he was, I want to say it was right before the Lions game. LaFleur was calling him out and said that he needs to be better, and we're not sure if he's the answer. And I mean, this team is dangerous, man,
Well,
and they don't have to pay anybody.
Yeah.
Dylan, remember this? Remember going into the fourth quarter of that Vikings-Packers game? How lost Green Bay's offense was? They didn't have a first down until, 3 minutes left in the first half? At that point, they're sitting at 2-5, and everyone's thinking this: season's over. Fire LaFleur. Joe Barry, should have been fired last year. Jordan Love sucks. We're going to need a new quarterback. And now they're here. This is an in-season rebound that I don't think I've ever seen before. An in-season turnaround that I've never seen before in the NFL. This is truly incredible.
He was a freak.
Yeah. I hate the Packers. I hate them.
I mean,
I hate them more than I hate the Eagles.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. And
Dak's only 2-4 in the playoffs. Like we all knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, not in this round. Well, Ethan did, but we didn't.
I did.
Yeah. Dak looked like Kellen Moore was calling the plays again. It looked like he almost had the yips. After they went down 7-0, it was like, oh, this game is over. And he misses CD.
Mm-hmm.
And Micah Parsons sacrificed not getting a holding call to do this. I mean, I think after that, like, they just shut down. I was like, oh, finally I get a holding call. Well, and hey, he's got a podcast. So,
Mm-hmm.
all these distractions and sit there and complain and whine, and all you've been doing is to try and get a holding call, and then you just disappear. And Aaron Jones, his homecoming to Houston, has another spectacular day. It was, I've held out like that. I've been a Mike McCarthy stan like this entire year, and he's grown on me. And he's done something that the Cowboys haven't done under the Jason Garrett era. Is 3 straight 12-win seasons. They've won the division twice, but it almost feels like he's reached the ceiling, and that this is who Mike McCarthy is great in the regular season, and then, as Mark Schlereth says, craps in their helmet in the playoffs. Mark was right. And just a future reference, guys, anytime that I start thinking positive that the Cowboys are going to be able to make a deep run in January, you guys have the permission to smack the shit out of me. I know we aren't near each other, but if I start talking about that, just stop me and tell me to smack myself, because I have to believe it until I can't believe it until I see it. And this is one of those situations that, I think maybe the 2014 NFC Championship game broke McCarthy's playoff brain, where he just gets too
Ooh,
tense. They look
that's a good one.
unprepared. They play like all of the undisciplined. It all just rears its ugly head, and they forget how to play football and do what got them there. There's
Do you think also, Dylan, maybe in a weird way that beatdown that he took in Atlanta in 2016 was wearing on him too? Like maybe that week for that Seattle game, they did everything right. That tight end just didn't listen to a special teams coach and tried to catch the ball and not block for Jordy Nelson. But in 2016, when they got just absolutely obliterated in the Georgia Dome, I think Atlanta scored another touchdown actually off that Packers defense just now, where he was like, "Oh my God, we're doing everything wrong, but I've been doing it this way the whole time. We won a Super Bowl. We won 3 straight road games in 2010. We did this." He's just a series of unfortunate events, and the loss to the Giants, the year after they win the Super Bowl, it's kind of just like, to your point, this is who he is.
yeah, and I mean, especially when there's coaches out there, there's Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels, and Josh McDaniels isn't a head coach in the NFL, but I mean, he got Mac Jones, and albeit the Pro Bowl is what it is, but I mean, it was the best Mac Jones has looked in the 3 years that he's been in the NFL. And this is something too that you don't ever see a Bill Belichick team lay an egg like this, like they did in the playoffs either. So if he's out there, I think and I don't know what you want to do with Dak, because he had the best year of his career.
He ain't going nowhere.
He's not. I know.
Yeah.
But and that's exactly what I'm thinking is he's in a lot better situation. Bill won't have to run the team because they've got, between Stephen Jones and Will McClay, they've drafted really well, and they've done a good job of roster building. I think there's a couple of pieces I'd like to see them add a piece on the offensive line. I'd like to see them add another piece on the defensive line. But another running back, that because Tony Pollard is going to be a free agent. I don't think he's even going to be back.
No, he's gone.
He in a Cowboys uniform. I think if he didn't get that injury against San Francisco, who knows? But go out and sign DeAndre Swift. I would love that. But a lot of questions going into Dallas this offseason.
I will say this though, Dylan. I remember how I said, the Packers offensive line can pass block. Besides those 2 holding calls against Micah Parsons, it looked like Jordan Love could have baked a cake back there.
Yes.
And that is the one part where you just
don't
understand.
And they ran block. Their run blocking, you could have driven a truck through.
Which was not a strength of theirs all year. They were a pass blocking. Never has been. They were a pass blocking unit, and they absolutely dominated. And since Dan Quinn's taken over, what is Dallas, like 3rd in the league in sacks since that time? I mean, they're getting after the quarterback. Mike has gone 13, 13, and 14 sacks in his 3 seasons. And Jordan Love looked like he was playing 7-on-7. I mean, the Cowboys pass rush either didn't want to show up or they did. And Green Bay's offensive line looked like the 92 Cowboys out there.
Yeah. Or the 91 Redskins.
100%.